Hi everyone, Linda here from ITTT, back this week with another live session. Thank you so much for joining and tuning in today for our topic, the top 5 most underrated TEFL destinations. Super excited to do another destination themed topic today. We talked a lot about how to find a job and how to start teaching English online and all of these kinds of things. So I thought it's time for another TEFL destination kind of live session. I always love doing these. It feels a little bit like taking a virtual vacation, a virtual trip. So join me for the trip today. I do want to say I am still a little bit sick today, so I apologize if my voice sounds weird. If sometimes I need to cough or do anything with my nose, so I apologize in advance. But that's just how it is, and we have to get through that. Yeah, so thank you so much for tuning in and for joining. And guys, let me know first off, where are you right now? Where are you watching from today? Let me know. As always, I am in South Korea. It is 10:30 a.m. Friday morning. I'm so excited for this weekend. The weather is great. The first cherry blossoms are blooming, so I'm going to go out and enjoy spring and the cherry blossoms this weekend. I'm so excited about it. That's why I'm wearing this kind of blossom dress today for you guys. I'm all in spring mood. Let me know where you are. Are there any cherry blossoms, any spring blossoms where you are? Is it spring where you are? What's going on? Let me know. Leave a comment in the comment section. We are live on Facebook and also on YouTube. So let me know where you're watching from today. What's the weather like? What are you doing this weekend? What are your plans? Let me know, guys. Also, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I know I always say that, but that's very important. Not only for us, of course, it helps us grow and reach more people like you that might be interested in teaching English abroad, but it also helps you because you stay up to date on all the things that are happening at ITTT. You also get free teaching materials. We share job offers on our Facebook page. A lot of stuff going on. So do like and subscribe. You never miss any of our live sessions either. This is a weekly thing. So yeah. Just like and subscribe and you're always up to date and you get notified and all of that good stuff. With Emilio from Barcelona. Hi, Emilio. How's the weather in Barcelona? I'm sure it's very nice and warm, isn't it? I haven't been to Barcelona yet. I really want to go. Super interested in that Gaudi, the art, the park. I forget what it's called, but you know what I'm talking about. The most famous like park or the buildings, right? I always see pictures of it and it's beautiful. Then we have Tarek from Libya. Hi, how are you doing? What's the weather like over there? Thanks so much for tuning in. Exciting. Oh, we have Phoenix. Phoenix from California, but living in Brazil. Nice. What part of Brazil do you live in? And what's the weather like there? I actually have a Japanese teacher from well, he's Japanese, but he lives in Brazil and we have online classes and he's telling me all about the weather and how warm it is and hot and humid. So that's really cool. Very different. Super exciting. Nice. Cool. We have a very mixed crowd today. I like that. We have Barcelona, we have Libya, we have Brazil. I'm sure we have a lot more locations. So, guys, just let me know in the comments where you are. Oh, I'm in Bahia. Is it Bahia? The Northeast. Okay. Nice. Cool. Very cool. Jealous. But yeah, awesome. All right, then guys, keep your comments coming of where you're watching from today if you want to share. And then I'm also going to introduce myself real quick. I think we have a lot of new people here. I see a lot of new names, so that's really, really great. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And this is our topic for today, so stay tuned. I'm just going to do a quick intro. And Phoenix says it's always hot and humid, but raining a lot lately. Oh, is it like rainy season? Or I'm sure, do you guys have rainy season, dry season, or is it always kind of like the same? Interesting. Always hot. And then we have Liesel. Is it Liesel? From Zimbabwe. It's 3:30 a.m. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for tuning in. Weather here hasn't started cooling for winter yet. We still enjoy lovely hot weather. Okay. Very cool. Okay, nice. And then we have John here from Barbados. Cool. All right. Very mixed crowd today. I love it. I'm here for it. All right. Then, guys, also I want to mention that we do have a 30% off discount code off of all of ITTT's TEFL and TESOL courses. Yay! So what you can do is you can scan this QR code right here, or I'm also going to share a discount link in the comment section that you can copy and paste. And you can get 30% off any TEFL or TESOL course from ITTT. Super exciting. So if you're not yet TEFL or TESOL certified, now is a great time to do it with this 30% off. Link, don't pay full price, right? Don't pay full price, take advantage, and you get 30% off, which is a big, big, big discount. So you don't want to miss that. You can copy paste this link or scan this QR code, and then you will see an application page, and it will say at the top, congratulations, you get 30% off, something like that. So you know it's the right link, and you can apply and save a lot of money. This also is good for if you're already TEFL certified and you want a specialization course, or you want to take the advanced diploma course. You can also use this discount for that. So, and save a bit of money. I'm all here for saving money, and I'm sure you are too. And also, this link does not expire. So if you're not yet sure which course you want to take, you can save this link and then apply later. That's also good. But we only share this link during our live sessions. That's why it's so important to like and subscribe and to join us, so you see these discount codes only here during our live sessions. So that's very special. All right. Phoenix is hot, 30 degrees Celsius with 80% humidity. Okay. Wow. Interesting. Yeah, that's very hot. 30 degrees, 80% humidity. Cool. That's kind of like in Korea in the summer. It's very similar. Very humid and very hot. And you cannot survive without air conditioning. All right. So before we start, I also want to introduce myself real quick. And I want to say again, I said this in the beginning, but I am sick. So my voice might sound a bit weird and I might have to cough sometimes. And my nose is like stuffed up. So I apologize for that, but I didn't want to miss out on today's live session because this topic is so exciting. But just please be kind. And this is about me first. So my name is Linda. Welcome. I'm here for ITTT. I'm a TEFL and TESOL marketing professional for ITTT, but I'm also many other things. I'm also a language teacher. I teach English and German. I also am a travel writer, travel blogger, content creator. I do many different things. I have my own website at lindagoeseast.com. And Linda Goes East also on Instagram. If you want to reach out to me via DM, you can always do that. And East because I've always been super interested in Asia, particularly. So I studied Mandarin Chinese. I lived in China. I also taught English in China, but I also worked in marketing in China. And then I ended up in South Korea. So I actually met my now husband in California at university, and he happened to be from Korea. And then I went back to China for another year, and then I ended up going and moving to Korea to be with him. And this is my 8th year now in South Korea. It's crazy. Time really goes by super fast. But I'm originally from Germany and the US. So my mom is German, my dad is American. And yeah, I also work for ITTT. So I actually took the course in 2014 because I knew I wanted to move to Korea and I wanted to move to the city where my husband was from. So I wanted to get a TEFL certificate just to be able to pick and choose a job in this city. And that's how I found ITTT basically. And I ended up taking their courses, and then I ended up working for them in the end. So it all worked out. It's all good. And ITTT, if you don't know, it stands for International TEFL and TESOL Training. And you can find us at teflcourse.net. And we are a leading TEFL and TESOL course provider worldwide. We have a lot of different courses. I'm sure many of you are already TEFL certified from ITTT, so you know, but we have a wide variety of courses. We have a lot of online courses. We have in-class courses as well at different training centers around the world. And we also have combined courses. So that's about us. And please, guys, keep your comments coming here about where you are right now while I'm going to drink some ginger tea for my throat. All right. We have Martha here from Greece. Nice. Hi, Martha. How are you doing? I love Greece. I went to Greece a couple years ago. It was amazing. And also, Greek food is the best. Miss it. All right. So then we are jumping right in. Excuse me. The top 5 most underrated TEFL destinations. And before we kind of jump into this topic, so today, obviously, we're going to talk about 5 underrated TEFL destinations. So you're not going to hear about Korea because that's very popular. You're not going to hear about Japan. You're not going to hear about China. You're not going to hear about Spain, Italy. You're not going to hear about Mexico, any of these places, because they are typically very popular TEFL destinations. But today is actually the opposite. Not unpopular, but definitely underrated TEFL destinations. So these are destinations that are not typically on the radar for teaching English abroad. Like I said, we hear a lot about teaching English in Japan, teaching English in China, teaching English in Italy, in Spain, in France. But today is a little bit different. And why are we talking about underrated TEFL destinations? Because they have a lot of potential. The competition is usually not as great, as in these popular destinations. So you can easily find a job there. And they are just, a lot of people like to go to places that are kind of hidden gems or not yet super popular. You want to do something a little bit different than other people. You're looking for a more authentic destination. Then these places might be worth considering for you today. Okay, we have a comment here from Lenin. Says, hello, I'm TEFL certified, but not a native speaker, and most of the countries prefer candidates with a bachelor's degree. Yeah, so we're going to also talk about the requirements for each of these locations. So you are also going to hear about that as well. So let's see. Yeah, this is kind of something I already talked about and touched on. Lennon, I'm going to get back to you in just a second. Let me get through this slide, and then I'm going to talk about your question. So, why choose an underrated destination? That's kind of something I just talked about, but it's definitely a more authentic experience. So, some people want a more immersive, less structured experience and to be involved in local community and culture, which can be found teaching in less popular places, right? A lot of places like Korea or Japan are well established for English teachers and also tourism. So a lot of people who speak English, a lot of people are there for teaching English abroad. So you will have a big foreigner community, a big English teacher community. But in these underrated destinations, it's much smaller. You definitely have an expat community everywhere, but in these underrated destinations, it's much smaller, which allows you a more authentic experience, right? It's more immersive. You are much more involved in the local community. If people don't really speak English, if there aren't as many foreigners, you are basically forced to engage with the locals more. So, all right. And then we have the next point here is a sense of adventure. Sense of adventure. So the appeal of teaching in lesser known locations may be the chance to explore and discover a new place. This can be a great opportunity for people who enjoy travel and are looking for a unique experience. So that's something I talked about just before. But if you go to an underrated destination, there isn't a lot of information maybe about these places, and they're still a little undiscovered, unexplored. So it can be quite adventurous if you're one of one of the only people who's ever been there, or there are not a lot of people going there to teach. It can be very exciting because you have to basically figure out a lot on your own because not a lot of people have done that before you, and there is not a lot of information about it like on blogs or internet sites. So it can be very adventurous, what a lot of people are looking for. So that can be very exciting as well. Then, of course, it is great for your professional development. A lot of these places will have fewer resources available for teachers because it's just not that common for English teaching. So, a lot of you guys, if you move to an underrated destination, you will have to be more creative and more resourceful in your teaching approach. And this can help you develop new skills and approaches to teaching, which can be very useful for your professional development. You'll see this a lot. For example, like I said, in Korea with the EPIC program, or in Japan with the JET program, they're very well established and they give you a lot of resources and a lot of materials. A lot of schools would provide teaching materials, but in these underrated destinations, most of the time, um, you have the creativity and you have to do everything yourself. You have to establish a curriculum more often than not, and you have the freedom to organize your classes and your lesson plans the way you want, which can give you just which will have you have to be more creative. Nothing's really handed to you, so you have to come up with all of it by yourself, which is great for professional development. You learn how to do this stuff very quickly if you have to. And then the last point here is personal growth. So, teaching in a less popular location may require stepping outside of one's comfort zone, of course, and adapting to a new culture and way of life, which can be a transformative experience for some people. And this is also true, for any country that you move to, of course, you have to step out of your comfort zone. But especially with these underrated destinations, because, like I said, there aren't that many foreigners maybe living there, there aren't that many English teachers living there yet. The expat community, the EFL English teacher community might be very small. So you have to step out of your comfort zone a lot more and maybe approach locals, or do a lot of things that you would normally not do back home, basically. So yeah, here are 4 points on why to choose an underrated destination. And let me get back to Lennon here real quick. So again, Lennon said he is TEFL certified but not a native speaker, and most of the countries prefer candidates with with a bachelor degree. So any suggestions? So yeah, of course, you are TEFL certified, but you are a non-native English speaker and you don't have a bachelor's degree. So it is possible to teach English abroad without a degree and also as a non-native English teacher. And I think these underrated destinations especially will be really good for you. And like I said today, we're going to cover also the requirements. So you will see the places where you can teach without a degree and as a non-native English speaker as well. You're going to see that today. So I think especially these destinations will be good for you, somebody like you, Lennon. And then also I say this all the time, but anyone who is a non-native English speaker who wants to teach English, you need to get a English proficiency certificate. So a TEFL, an IELTS, any kind of Cambridge English proficiency certificate that will really boost your application as well, your resume, so that they see your English level is very high. That will help you. Okay. Let me take more tea, please. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's jump into it. Our first destination here is Cambodia. Very nice. So, Cambodia is actually a place that's very dear to my heart. I visited Cambodia in November and it was amazing. So, I can talk a little bit about my personal experience as well, even though I didn't teach there, but I got to learn the place. I got to know the place a little bit while I was there. So, why is it underrated? Definitely it's often overlooked compared to popular destinations like Japan, South Korea, China, and even Thailand. So, when somebody's looking to teach English in Asia, a lot of times you will find, yeah, places like Japan, Korea, China, and Thailand first, and then Cambodia is kind of overlooked. But Cambodia is a great place to go for teaching English. Cambodia's EFL market is growing, and also thanks to their tourism. So, English is used in other subjects in higher education, and that provides a lot of professional practice opportunities. TEFL and TESOL holders, they can help build the higher education curriculum, shaping linguistic opportunities. So, if you are an English teacher in Cambodia, you are very much involved in curriculum making and all of these things. And that's something we talked about for the reasons why you should choose an underrated destination. So, you are very much involved in lesson planning and setting up a curriculum, so the schools will really want to hear your opinion and want to get your help on that, which leads to you really getting to show your creativity and your skills. So that's really great. The requirements, you definitely want to have a TEFL certificate. Then you also need to think about that they have an upper age limit for teaching, which is 65. So if you're older than 65, you won't be able to teach English in Cambodia. This is the local retirement age. And this also applies to English teachers, foreign English teachers. And then schools and universities have job openings year round, so they don't have really hiring seasons. You can find positions year round, which is great. So whenever you are ready, you can just go and apply. And populous areas like Phnom Penh and Krong, Siem Reap have more teaching opportunities. And there's a spelling error here in Siem Reap. It's SIEM. But anyway, so those are the two biggest places actually. Phnom Penh is the capital city, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. And Siem Reap is basically where Angkor Wat is. And Angkor Wat is this huge UNESCO temple complex, and this is the most famous place in Cambodia. So a lot of tourists go there, and a lot of English education is required there for the tour guides, right? So you see a lot of opportunities there. So pay here is 1,000 to 1,200 US dollars a month. And here, Lenin, as you can see, the requirements, they only require a TEFL certificate. So you are definitely qualified to teach English in Cambodia if you wanted to. That would be an option. And for every location that I'm going to talk about today, I also want to show you guys a little bit about that country to kind of get to know it a little bit better. So if you choose to move there, you should know, excuse me, you should know these things about the country before. So like I just said, Angkor Wat. When people think about Cambodia, the first thing they think about is Angkor Wat. And this is an ancient temple complex. And this is really Cambodia's most famous attraction. And this is located in the city of Siem Reap. So that's why Siem Reap, you're going to have a lot of English teaching opportunities in this place for tourism. However, Phnom Penh is the capital city, and this is also home of the Royal Palace and the National Museum, and for example, also the Killing Fields Memorial Site. And Phnom Penh is the biggest city and capital city, and you're going to have a lot of teaching opportunities and positions in Phnom Penh. So Phnom Penh first, and then Siem Reap, where Angkor Wat is. And so killing fields, what are the killing fields? They are associated with the Khmer Rouge. So if you choose to go to Cambodia, you should know what the Khmer Rouge was. And this was basically a brutal regime that ruled Cambodia from 1975 to 79. And it really has a strong impact on Cambodia still today. Um, this was basically a genocide. They killed a lot of people under this regime. In only 4 years, they killed millions of people. So, in Phnom Penh and surrounding areas, you have things like the killing fields. This is basically a camp where they killed many of these prisoners, and also the Tuol Sleng Genocide Museum is also in Phnom Penh. So these are it's very dark history of Cambodia, but it still shapes Cambodians today. And it was not that long ago, if you think about 79, not that long ago. And you can still see this in Cambodia's population today. So they killed a lot of people during this time. And that's why the majority of people in Cambodia, the population is 25 and younger. So they have a lot of young people in Cambodia. um I forget how much it was, but it was like something crazy, like 70 or 80% of the population is younger people between uh 25 and younger. So that's also a huge opportunity for English education, right? Because a lot of these people, they are trying to get out of their uh poverty, and they want English education. So that's why you have a lot of opportunities, also because of this part of history. And then, of course, we have to talk about the nature of Cambodia. So, Cambodia is home to a variety of national parks and natural wonders, including the Cardamom Mountains and the Tonle Sap Lake. So, this is one of the largest freshwater lakes in Southeast Asia. So, there's a lot of travel opportunities once you're in Cambodia. So much to see and do. Highly recommended. All right. All right. Phoenix says, how long is a typical teaching contract? I don't know if I want to stay over a year. So, yeah, typically a teaching contract is for 1 year. And then most of the time you can, renew, or you can change the school. But usually a teaching contract is for 1 year. In some places, specifically in the Middle East, it might also be 2 years. And you can also sometimes find shorter contracts for like 6 months, but this is more rare. But I've also seen that in the past. But typically, I would say 75%, 80% of teaching contracts are for 1 year. And then Emilio is asking, hi, I'm halfway through the 550-hour course. I have a C1 certificate. Nice, congratulations. A degree, I'm a doctor. Nice. And teaching experience. I'm also from Spain, non-native. Am I eligible for working in Vietnam? Very good. Okay, Vietnam specifically. We're not going to talk about Vietnam today because it is also another popular destination. But, so we actually have a let's see, a FAQ section about this, and I'm gonna forward this to you. You can have a look, and here it says, what are the requirements for teaching English in Vietnam? And for the work permit to teach English legally in Vietnam, you will need to be a native English speaker. So they are also more now towards native English speaker. But I think in some places in Vietnam, you can still find positions if you're a non-native English speaker. So we have this big job section. So check out, this is the link, how to get a teaching job in Vietnam. So check that out, and you'll find the information there. And also the job section, and then just apply to every job posting in there. And C1 is really great. So I think C1, yeah, you should be able to find a job. All right, so this was Cambodia. Super exciting. Can definitely recommend it. I loved Cambodia. Next up, we have Chile, so South America. So why is Chile underrated? So despite its awe-inspiring landscapes and beaches and incredible museums, it is not as well known as other TEFL destinations, which is very interesting, right? A lot of people, I think, in South America are going towards Brazil, very booming. But Chile, definitely not to be overlooked. The TEFL, EFL teaching market in Chile is actually very strong. And there are many job opportunities available in cities like Santiago, Valparaiso, and Concepcion. So these are the biggest cities, and Santiago is the capital city. And the requirements for teaching English in Chile are a TEFL certificate, which is a must, And a degree is helpful for obtaining a visa, but it's not always necessary. And then Santiago is a great place to start looking for jobs, but there are many other cities to explore and find opportunities, like the ones here we talked about, Valparaíso and Concepción, but also Puente Alto, Antofagasta, Viña del Mar, all of these places. The pay is between 800 and 1,200 US dollars per month. So if you're looking for a place in South America to teach English, Chile might be a good place to start and to consider. And here's some interesting facts about Chile. Of course, when we think about Chile, we are thinking about the natural beauty, right? That is probably one of the first things that comes to mind. So Chile is home to some of the world's most spectacular natural wonders, such as the Atacama Desert and the Andes Mountains and the stunning Torres del Paine National Park. I hope I'm saying that right. So really, really great stuff to explore there. A lot of good. If you're into hiking and all of these things, I think Chile will be your paradise. You're gonna love it there. Santiago is the capital city. So Santiago de Chile is a vibrant city and also home to some of Chile's most important landmarks. The city is also surrounded by beautiful landscapes, including the Andes Mountains and the Chilean coastline. So you really have the best of both worlds. You have the ocean and you also have the mountains. So in your free time, you will have so much stuff to do and places to go to and things to explore. It's going to be really great. And of course, Chile is Spanish speaking. So if you already know some Spanish, or you want to learn Spanish, it's another reason to go to Chile, right? They also have a booming economy, and actually, Chile has one of the strongest economies in South America, with a rapidly growing middle class and a high demand for English language skills in the workforce. So, this is why Chile is really a great place to go for English teachers at the moment. And then, of course, I also wanted to mention the Easter Islands. This is probably the most famous kind of UNESCO place in Chile. This is the Rapa Nui National Park on Easter Island, and this is known for its mysterious Moai statues. So the statues you see here in the picture, maybe you've seen them before. That's also in Chile. So if that's on your list of places to see, then maybe you can consider Chile as your destination. I would definitely love to go. I want to see that. And look at the picture here. Santiago just looks so cool, the city. And then you have the Andes Mountains right there in the background. It looks amazing. I love it. So I would love to go there, definitely. So again, requirements: a TEFL certificate and a degree is helpful, but not a must. So also not that strict. All you need to have is a TEFL certificate and you are good to go. Okay, Fennec says, do these places include relocation cost? Oh, like you mean if the schools pay for your airfare and housing? So that's a good point. Usually these places will not give you any airfare money or any money for housing. This is what you have in places like Korea, Japan, China as well. They usually pay for airfare. They pay for airplane ticket. They pay for housing. But in these underrated places, normally they do not do that. You're always free to negotiate during your interview, and you might be able to get that. But it's not very typical. You would have to do that. You would have to cover the cost for that. Amitava, good morning. I'm doing okay. How about you? I'm still a little bit sick, but it's okay. How are you doing, Amitava? Okay, so we talked about Cambodia. Now we talked about Chile. And now let's jump into the next place, Honduras. Honduras. And Honduras, we never talked about here before. I don't think. So this is really underrated, a really, really good place to go if you're looking for an underrated EFL destination. So why is it underrated? Honduras is an underrated EFL teaching destination due to its growing English learning market, which is great for gaining experience and starting out as a TEFL teacher. So it has a growing market and it's really good if you're starting out to gain experience. and to have a good time. So the EFL market in Honduras is growing. It's a good place to gain experience and start out as a TEFL teacher. And students in Honduras are incredibly keen to learn English. And TEFL teachers may not earn high salaries in Honduras. So that's something to keep in mind. That's the whole South American region, though. So the pay typically isn't that high. And the EFL market in Honduras is still very new. It's very new, but the students are very keen. They all will want to learn English for their future. So you definitely see it growing, but it's still very young. So that's why this is a good place to start out. So you can get in there and kind of help build this market. So that's something that can be very exciting. And they really welcome people to come and help them with that. The requirements are a bachelor's degree, but also not always required. So nice to have, but not always required. TEFL certificate for sure. And then, I wanted to check how to pronounce the city. This is the capital city, and I forgot how to say it. So it starts with T. I'm not gonna try now to say it. I wanted to Google how to pronounce this, but this is the capital city. Te, blah, 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 is a great place to start looking for jobs. Capital city. I never heard this capital city before. So I don't know how to say it. And I don't want to embarrass myself, so I'm not going to say it. Anyway, pay also between 800 to 1,200 per month, but probably more in the lower range here, unless you have a bachelor's degree and teaching experience and all that, and you find a really good school. But it's probably more the lower range, so 800, around 800. And again, you're not going to get any paid airfare or bonuses here in most of these underrated destinations. All right, then let's have a look at more facts about Honduras. So it has UNESCO heritage sites. It actually has two UNESCO heritage sites, and this is the Maya site of Copan and the Rio, Platano Biosphere Reserve. So that's really cool. A lot of cool stuff to explore. They also have pyramids, the Mayan pyramids here, and a lot of nature, which is really cool. And then here again, the city that I can't pronounce because I forgot to look it up is the capital city and the largest city, and it has a population of around 1.2 million people. And it's located in the southern central part of the country, and it's the political and administrative center of Honduras. And so that's where most of the teaching positions can be found, but also around there. So not only in this city, but also other places. And this is another very famous place, which is called Mosquitia, which is the largest rainforest in Central America and one of the most biodiverse regions in the world. So again, if you're into hiking and exploring, I guess, jungle adventures and wildlife and all that, this is a great place to go. You can explore a lot in your free time. And also, if you're interested in Honduras and you want to move there, you should know that coffee is very famous from Honduras. So they are known for producing high quality coffee, and it is grown in the mountainous regions of the country. And in fact, coffee is the second largest export after bananas in Honduras. So I thought that was very interesting, and I wanted to mention it. And you might actually end up working maybe as a business English teacher at one of the coffee production companies or coffee companies there. So really cool. So yeah, this is Honduras. And Phoenix here says, is Honduras safe? I mean, violence and natural disasters. You know what? That's a good point. Is it safe? I have never been to Honduras, so I'm not 100% sure if it's safe. You would have to probably Google that. And maybe what I always suggest, if you're interested in a place to go, find people like blogs, find people, English teachers, other people who live there, and read their blogs and see what they say, or YouTube channels, if you want videos. So oh, it's Phoenix. I'm sorry. I apologize. Phoenix. Okay, got it. So I cannot answer that if it is safe or not, but I would probably say it's okay because it's on our list. All right, then we have Lilia Martinez Tejada. Nice name. Hello, Linda. Hi, Lilia. How are you doing? Okay, and Amitava says it's the capital of city of Honduras. It is pronounced Tegucigalpa. Is it that? Tegucigalpa. 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 Yeah, Tegucigalpa. Okay. Thanks. Thanks, Amitava. I learned something new now. Tegucigalpa. Tegucigalpa. Okay. Thanks, Amitava. Okay, so that's the capital city. We know how to say it now. Thank you so much. All right, this is about Honduras. That is a mouthful, isn't it? uh, Great. Yeah, and I'd never heard this name before either. But it sounds like very from a book, like a fictional like city, but it's a real place. Cool. Anyway, that's that. All right. So we talked about Cambodia, we talked about Chile, now we talked about Honduras, and now we have place number 4 of the most underrated uh TEFL destinations, which is Taiwan. And actually, Taiwan is not that underrated, but I feel like it is underrated in a way because it's often overlooked as a TEFL destination because it's overshadowed by neighboring China, Korea, and Japan. So, Taiwan is considered East Asia, and other East Asian destinations like China, Korea, and Japan are just so much more popular when it comes to teaching English abroad. But Taiwan is really great and a great destination to consider. And I just wanted to put it up there because I think a lot of people kind of forget that it exists, and a lot of people always want to go to China or Japan or Korea, but Taiwan is actually really great to consider. And I wanted to put at least one Asian destination up here. So Phoenix says, yeah, surprised to see it on the list. Yes, but I'm sure a lot of people maybe have not considered it. So I wanted to put it up there because it's great. And you can actually earn a lot of money there. And I've been to Taiwan and I love it. It's so great, especially if you're interested in East Asia. Taiwan is a really great place to go. And maybe if you're thinking about going to China, but some things are holding you back and you don't want to go to China, you could go to Taiwan. It's a great alternative. So, Taiwan has a high demand for English teachers, especially in private language schools, and they are known bushibans. They're known as bushibans. So, the private language schools are called bushibans here, and a lot of teachers will work for these bushibans. Teaching in public schools is also an option, but there's often fierce competition for these positions. So you're going to see a lot more openings for bushibans. So a lot of people, they actually move to Taiwan, and start out working for bushibans, and then kind of get into, after some networking, after meeting people, and then they kind of slide into these public school positions. Requirements here for teaching English in Taiwan: you must be over 20 years old, and you also must be a native English speaker with a passport from these countries here. And you also must have a university degree, and a TEFL certification is not a legal requirement, but it is certainly preferred by most employers. So compared to all of these other destinations we talked about today, Taiwan definitely has the strictest requirements. So it's not going to be for everyone. But again, if you want to go to East Asia, but you don't want to go to China, you don't want to go to Korea, you don't want to go to Japan, where everybody wants to go, choose Taiwan. It could be a great alternative. And again, pay is also not bad. You can make between 1,900 and 2,200 per month, and they often also offer some kind of bonuses like housing and airfare. So it's really, really good. And here a little bit about Taiwan. So they have a very interesting culture. They have an indigenous culture. So the island has a diverse and unique culture that is influenced by its indigenous population, Chinese settlers, and then also Japanese occupation. So there's a lot of history there, a lot of cool places to check out. It's not boring. So I highly recommend it. And then Taipei 101, of course, if you think about Taipei, the city of Taipei, which is the capital city of Taiwan, um, their landmark is Taipei 101, and that is one of the tallest buildings in the world. And it was the tallest building in the world until 2010, and then it was overtaken by the Burj Khalifa, I believe, right? So yeah, you can go there. It's really cool. You can go up there and have a beautiful view of Taipei. It's really nice. Taiwan also has a lot of national parks. It's quite small, but it has a lot of national parks. So, for example, the most famous park is Kenting National Park. Then you also have Taroko National Park and the Yangmingshan National Park. So, a lot of great places to go if you're into nature, into hiking, into exploring outdoors. Taiwan is really good. And of course, they also have a ton of beaches, which is really nice in the summertime. And then if you want to move to Taiwan, you should know a little bit about the situation between Taiwan and China. So they certainly have a complex and often contentious shared history marked by periods of conflict and cooperation, as well as ongoing political tensions surrounding Taiwan's sovereignty. So we hear about this a lot, right, in the news and stuff. So just know that this is going on, and then you can read up on this on your own. I don't want to spark a controversial discussion here, but just know that this is a discussion if you're not aware, and if you want to move to Taiwan, read up on it and get some info on that before you go, so you can better understand it. Okay, cool. Taiwan, again, love it. I've been there. It's a great place, and the food is also really good. Okay, quick comment here from Amitava. When we were kids, we used to play the game Names, Places, Animals, and Things. From there, we used to increase our vocabulary as well as the stock of words. Yeah, so we actually used to play this too in Germany. We have ours was called City, Country, Rivers, and then like hobbies or professions, things, and animals too. So I used to play that too. I love that. But I never came across Honduras. That game. All right, Phoenix says, how close are they to travel? Like, are there typically boats or flights between China and Taiwan? Flight for sure. You can fly there. I'm not sure if there are boats going between. I think flying is a lot easier and faster. It also depends on where you are in China. Of course, China is huge, so from Shanghai might be like just an hour and a half flight. Maybe is my guesstimate. From I have a friend. She lives in Hong Kong, and her brother lives in Taiwan, and it's a very quick flight, and also not that expensive. So it's very close. It's very close. You can look it up on the map. It's not far. Also, Taiwan to Japan is very close. Taiwan to Korea is very close. I flew from Korea, from Seoul to Taiwan. It's just like a 2-hour flight. So it's similar probably to Beijing to Taiwan, might be 2.5 hours. So it's pretty close. It's not far. Yeah, they might be. I don't know if there are ferries going, to be honest, because of the conflicts. But there might be. I don't know. Haven't heard about ferries actually between Taiwan and China, but there might be. Good question. All right, now we're moving on to underrated place number 5, which is Georgia. No, this was number 5, wasn't it? Because this was my extra bonus, I think. So Georgia is my bonus that I wanted to throw in, and this is Georgia in Europe. Okay, the country Georgia, not the state. And Georgia might not be on anybody's radar, but it really should be if you want to go to go to if you want to go to Europe. And some European countries are very hard to get into, so Georgia might be a good place if you're looking for something underrated, something different, but still in Europe. So Georgia is not as well known as some other countries in the region. It's very close to Turkey, but also Russia. So they're usually very big places in that region. And that's why kind of Georgia is not really on the radar of many people. But There is a growing demand for English language education in Georgia, particularly in larger cities like Tbilisi and Batumi. And also, the Georgian government is investing heavily in English language education and is promoting the development of language schools and programs. And they also have, and I should have put this on there, but they have an English teaching program called the TLG program. Teach Language Georgia, or is it Teach Learn Georgia? Something like that. TLG, we talked about this before in the past with English teaching programs, government funded programs, but they have one which is not that common in Europe, especially in this part of the world. So, and this program is actually pretty good. TLG, you can Google that. It has an official site, TLG program Georgia. You can just Google, Teach and Learn with Georgia. There you go. That's the program. So it is administered by the Georgian Ministry of Education. So it's a really official program, which is really cool. And it has a lot of perks. You get a stipend as well. The requirements here are a university degree in any subject and also a TEFL or TESOL certification, but it doesn't say anything about being a native English speaker or not. And also the pay is not that great. So between 400 and 1,200 US dollars a month. It's probably more like here in the middle. So yeah. And then some facts about Georgia that I put up here. So Georgia is a country located in the Caucasus region, bordered by Russia to the north and Turkey, Armenia, and Azerbaijan to the south. So kind of you get an idea of where it is. Then we have Tbilisi. One of its best attractions is the ancient city of Tbilisi, known for its winding cobblestone streets, colorful houses, and thermal baths. So that's very nice. And that's the capital city as well. Nature. Georgia is also known for its stunning natural beauty, including the Caucasus Mountains, the Black Sea coast, and semi-arid Kakheti region, famous for its vineyards and wine production. There we go. So, sounds amazing, right? Mountains, beaches, and wine. Like, sign me up. Sounds nice. And also, very interestingly, Georgia, and specifically the capital city of Tbilisi, is becoming a digital nomad hub. So it's very popular for digital nomads due to its affordable cost of living, vibrant culture, and the growing startup scene. And they actually have a lot of digital nomads in Tbilisi, a lot of co-working spaces. So that's a very popular thing at the moment there. A lot of digital nomads in Georgia, in Tbilisi. So if you're interested in that kind of lifestyle, if you want to, for example, teach English online, you could also go there and do that. I believe they have a digital nomad visa. So a lot of options there. And that is it. So which of these are you most interested in? Where would you like to teach? So we did have 5. Did I miss anything? No. Good. So where, out of all of these, we talked about Cambodia, we talked about Chile, we talked about Honduras, we talked about Taiwan and Georgia. Out of these 5, where would you like to teach the most? Which one is like, oh yeah, I never actually considered that, but sounds great. I really want to go there. Let me know. And Phoenix's fun fact, Caucasus region is where we got the word Caucasian from in reference to white people. Nice. Yep. Awesome. Oh, Pedro says Taiwan. And Pedro, I saw your comment, but I forgot to say hello to you. Hello, Pedro. How are you doing? Pedro says Taiwan. Nice. All right. How about Phoenix? Phoenix, where would you like to teach? Amitava, how about you? Lilia. Who else was here? Emilio, Lenin. How about you guys? Phoenix says Chile or Taiwan. Nice. Yeah. Okay. So 2 people. No, Taiwan 2, Chile 1. How about you? Me? I would either, oh my gosh, I want to go like everywhere. Taiwan, Chile, Cambodia. Maybe those 3. Those would be my top 3. Taiwan, Chile, yeah, I think. Emilio says Cambodia. Nice. So we have 2 Taiwan, 1 Cambodia, 1 Chile. See, Asia again is winning. No surprise here. Asia is great. I'm also doing okay, Pedro. Thank you. Phoenix says, is Egypt popular? Yeah, so it's not that popular like compared to other Middle Eastern countries, but the thing is with Middle Eastern countries, like Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, those are like the big ones, or Qatar and Kuwait, Oman. Those are like the typical ones for the Middle East, but their requirements are very high actually. So they usually want people with a degree, native English speakers, teaching experience, sometimes even a master's degree. So that is very difficult. And Egypt doesn't have that. So Egypt is a little bit more less strict when it comes to their requirements. But it's also not that popular for teaching English. But you do have some jobs there. Let me just check on our job section. Do we have? Yeah, we don't even have Egypt like listed by itself, so there's not that much. But let's see, Middle East might be here. Middle East. Yeah, here, Middle East, we just have Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Dubai, Oman, Dubai, a lot of Dubai, Saudi Arabia. Or maybe it's like in the Africa section. And you can have a look. Oh, yeah, maybe here. There's Morocco. Here's Egypt. Okay, so it's in the Africa section. Cairo, English teaching positions in Egypt. You can have a look on our job section and browse the jobs and see what's popular. It is located in Africa, but sometimes they include it in the Middle East. Depends. So you can have a look here. This is our job section. So you can browse that and see all the jobs available and kind of also their requirements and stuff. So all right, and then we are jumping into Q&A now. So you can ask me your questions. I'm still going to be on for a couple minutes to answer some of your questions. Emilia says, I asked about Vietnam before, but Cambodia has always been another option for me, so this was extremely helpful. Thank you. Yay, I'm glad, Emilio. And like I said, I went to Vietnam. No, I went to Cambodia in November. And I went back to Vietnam the second time like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and it was amazing. So both places are really good. Phoenix says, one last question. Are jobs ever pet friendly? So like, doesn't really depend so much on your job, but on your housing, right? If you can bring a pet, or you want to bring the pet to school. I have a border collie, so medium dog, he's a must. Do you want to take him like to school to work or just at home? If it's at home, it depends on your house, not on the school. So that depends. But that's something I would ask like my employer. If they help you find a house, you just tell them, hey, I have a dog. So please help me find a house that is dog friendly where I can bring my dog. Something like that. Phoenix says, I like help with housing and flights. So this depends on the location. So some countries, some employers, they will book flights for you and arrange housing and everything. Some other countries don't, and then you have to figure it out yourself. But they always, obviously, if they don't pay for it, they will still help you organize it. So you just have to tell them, like, hey, I have a dog. Can you please help me find a house where dogs are allowed and stuff? So just be open with them and tell them, like, right away. Nice. A border collie. Cute. Me too. I have two cats, so I would always bring them with me. Not to school, but like to where I live, right? Nice. All right. Any other questions, guys? And just a reminder, here we have 30% off, right? So I want to share that link with you one more time. 30% off any TEFL or TESOL course from ITTT. So if you're not yet TEFL or TESOL certified, this is a great opportunity to do so and save a lot of money. So we have this link here. You can copy paste this link, or you can also scan this QR code over here, and it will lead you to an application page, and you will see a thing like, congratulations, you get 30% off at the top, so you know it's the correct link, and then you can apply and you can save quite a lot of money. Phoenix says, how do people stay motivated to complete the courses? All right. Well, it depends probably. Are you, which, did you say you're completing the 550-hour course? Was that Phoenix? No, that was Emilio. You know, you just have to stay motivated. If you're worried about that, you can always do the tutor support version. So you have a tutor who would kind of kick your butt a little bit and keeps you on top of things. But yeah, you just have to kind of make your own schedule. So that's the thing, like with the online course, you're flexible to do it whenever you want. So you don't have to be online at a specific time. You can literally study whenever and wherever you want. But of course, you need to, push yourself to do it, right? So you can make a schedule. There are 20 units. So I usually did a few hours a week, and then I finished it. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying right now. If doing TESOL, how long does it take? So I took the 120-hour course, which is 20 units, and I was working full time, so I only did a couple of units per week, and it took me about 3 to 4 months to complete the whole thing. If you have more time, you can finish it much faster. So actually 20 units, and you're allowed to do 2 units a day. So if you're in a real rush, you could complete the course in 10 days. You can do 2 units a day, 20 units, so 10 days. That's the 120-hour course. Okay, let me send you a link. 120-hour course. That's the one that I took. And 120 hours really is the international standard. That's kind of the one you want to have, which is like recognized all over the world. And that's kind of the minimum you want to have. Everything under 120 hours is not really recognized. Here it is, the 120-hour course coming through now. This is the link. So yeah, you can have a look at that. So yeah, you can complete it in like 10 days, but you have up to 6 months to do it. You have up to 6 months, but a lot of people complete it in like 3 months, 2 months. Again, it depends on how much time you have, how much you study every day, every week, but you have up to 6 months. Here we have Benjamin. Thank you for sharing this message today. I have enjoyed watching it in the background while working, hearing about all the countries. Nice. I've taught ESL in South Korea and am now back in the States. Loved my time overseas. Really enjoyed my ITTT courses as well. In my case, I studied them after returning from Korea. I enjoyed the additional training from you all. Thank you. Nice. Oh, cool. Okay. Cool. Where in Korea were you? That's cool. Nice. Love it. Okay. All right. And Phoenix says, sorry, can you post the 30% link in the chat again? Yes, of course. Let me post it again. Here. This is it. Ends with FB Live minus Linda, so you know it's the right one. Benjamin says, Wonju and Suji. I know Wonju, but I don't know Suji. Interesting. Suji. I need to look up where that is. But I know Wonju. I've been there. Nice. Cool. How long were you in Korea for? Very nice. Do you think you'll come back ever? Or do you want to go somewhere different? Or you want to teach English in the States? What are your plans? If you want to share. Suji is south of Seoul near Bundang. Oh, okay. Cool. 4 years. All right. Very cool. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Then, final question. Final question, and then I'm going to say goodbye to y'all. We'll definitely visit Korea again. Nice. Awesome. All right. Let's see if somebody has one last question that I can answer today. And then I'm going to say goodbye to y'all. But it was a good session. A lot of new people, I feel like, today. That's awesome. Really, really cool. Thanks so much for tuning in and for all your questions. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys learned something or maybe got some inspiration, on where you can go and teach. Really, with a TEFL or TESOL certificate, the world really can be your oyster. You can do so many things, especially now in 2023 with also online teaching. And this is something we talked about last time, I think, with the digital nomad and remote working kind of things. A lot of countries nowadays have digital nomad visas. So you can move abroad and you can even teach English online from any place in the world. So a lot of options, a lot of things have changed, a lot of exciting opportunities now in the EFL industry, online and offline. Amitava says, I prefer to go to faraway places where they offer airfare and housing accommodation as well. Yeah, of course. We all want that, right? We all want that. And bonuses and all that. Of course. Of course. That's great. All right. Well, if there are no more questions, I'm going to say goodbye. It was really nice to talk to you today. And thank you so much for joining, everyone, for watching. And if you're watching this as a replay, you can still leave comments and questions, and we will get back to you in the comments. So no problem there. And if you have any questions, just you want to chat one-on-one, you can do that here on Instagram at Linda Goes East. Just send me a DM, and I will get back to you. And yeah. Then I will see you again soon, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great weekend. Stay happy, stay healthy, and then I'll see you again soon. Thank you. Bye.